Good afternoon, Foundation staff. Welcome to another iteration of Dr. Sherman's office hours. Today we are out of the office, so of course that means that the chat will be a little bit hectic. I will be doing my best to keep track of any questions I can in the chat, and super chats and member joins and all that along the way. But other than that, we have T-minus 25 minutes until our next test. And so until I have to go to that field test, I am here answering your questions from the chat. Good to see you, Bob the Builder. You were first I saw in the chat. Tree, I'm not gonna scream maybe. Thank you for being a member despite your horribly hurtful name. How rude. Yes, and of course, make sure we get that like count higher than the viewer count. That's the way we like to keep it. Currently, we're at 17 likes and 121 viewers. So let's switch the numbers, which one's on top, which one's on the bottom. I can't be 1 minute late to my own stream. It's my office hours. Sass me like that and you'll get Keter duty. The iPods are trying to eat my flesh. Do they even have mouths? Do we feed them? I guess we do feed them cat food, don't we? I'm gonna double check my testing protocols here. 131. So they don't seem to have mouths. That's not promising. But I seem to remember them eating. Casual contact subject is permitted, hourly tabs, failure to account, time consistence, mustard yellow, subject's intelligence of house cats, curious, hours, respond well to affection. I don't see any need for feeding, so I think that is not an issue that we're dealing with. But of course, I'm just skimming right now. But if they're trying to eat you, then they're probably just trying to beat you up for doing something rude, which you probably shouldn't have done. I trust the iPods. Dr. Sherman, what is the scariest SCP you have encountered? Well, yo boy Greg, I would have to say that my personal most hated anomaly, I need to check the number. I can remember a lot of SCP numbers, but not all of them, because there are thousands of them. The SCP I am most scared of / like the least is SCP-3023, which is titled, "And Then It Became a Deadly Spider." And it is a place in Germany, I believe, that I will never visit, ever, because this small area of Germany, things keep turning into spiders and murdering people. Baseball turned into a spider. A metal folding chair turned into a spider. A cell phone turned into a spider. A ibuprofen turned into a spider in someone's throat. A Mercedes-Benz turned into a spider. A giant robot spider. It's like a frickin' transformer. So, no. None of the above. 3023 I will never go to Germany for that. That is not my test, not my problem. When you sign up for the Foundation, you get one. You get one entity that you are free from having to go research, and that's mine. Local crazy man, my PS3 is attacking me. Well, are you in Germany? Did it turn into a spider? If so, run! Andre, good to see you in the chat, and thank you for your dono. Make sure to grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee on your way past the commissary. Is creation myths similar to SCP-001 proposals? What is creation myths? That is a good question that I must investigate before I can answer. Creation myths. And I hope that it gives me something useful and not just basic creation myths. Yeah, all I'm getting in Google results is various religions' creation myths. So I don't know what capital C, capital M creation myths is to answer your question. But I can tell you that in general, most creation myths of the universe will probably be a 001 of some kind. Those are kind of big anomalies at the beginning of everything. What if I type in fandom wiki? Will it, is there a fandom wiki for this thing that you're talking about? And then I can piggyback off that to understand. Religion wiki, foundation wiki, D&D, pop culture wiki. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, so I am sorry to say I cannot answer this question. Yo, Dr. Sherman, is Sans an SCP? Well, living skeletons on their own are anomalous, at least in our universe, and so is time and space travel. So, in that case, based on our universe, Sans would definitely be anomalous and would need to be contained. Now, in that universe where there are monsters, you almost would say that Sans gets a pass, except that A, the monsters are contained in the underground, so technically, after long enough, they could be considered anomalous by a Foundation equivalent in that universe. B, even the monsters think the skeletons are weird. So the skeletons are anomalous even to the monsters. So still probable that they are some kind of anomaly. Duckshade, good to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. Do you remember when I hugged SCP-049 and did not die? Does that mean that I am anomalous? Probably. If you did not, everyone dies when they touch 049. So if that were to have happened, then you'd be anomalous, but I can't discount the fact that it was a trick of some sort. So that means you're gonna get studied. Congratulations, you made a bad choice. Back up, there we go. Vibrant Studios. I accidentally looked at 096. How do I say my goodbyes? With your mouth. Or, I guess, with your fingers if you're going to type. Ule Man versus Old Man. Who wins? This channel is Pooh has an interesting question there. Old Man versus Ule Man. So, a funny thing is that we don't have intel on the Ule Man's durability because we have not been able to capture it. We know that it does the whole movie monster attack on people when it's Christmas time, but we do not have someone who has directly encountered it. But I'm going to go do some research here real quick for you. I'm going to the SCP Series 5 Tales Edition list, and that will allow me to see if there are any tales of people encountering 4666. And while I'm doing that, reminder, we're at 105 likes and 144 viewers, so surpassing the viewer count with the like count is within reach. I believe in you, Site 42 staff. Bring me flesh, sell clickbait profit, and Yule time for the Ule Man. Let's see if we can get any data on 4666's capabilities. This is Bring Me Flesh by Pepper's Ghost, excellent SCP author. It looks like it's from the perspective of 4666. Nope, it's from the perspective of Santa Claus. Okay, so that does not have any encounter with 466 that we can use for research. Let's check sell clickbait profit. This is the one where we're in the Broken Masquerade and they're warning people how to not die at Christmas if you're in Ule Man range, so that will not help us. And 4666 number 3 is Yule time for the Ule Man. Who do we encounter? It opens with, I did a huge no-no. Oh, this one's only a +5. They are a newer story or just haven't gotten much attention. Child, angry, no, crunch. Who crunched? The Ule Man worked for Santa Claus before ending him. So that means that Ule Man beat Santa Claus. That's important to know, at least based by this article, at least by my skim of this article. I might be completely wrong. But if you want to look at Yule time for the Ule Man and find out, then that's that. And so with that in mind, we don't have a durability basis for whether Ule Man can beat 106. We know 106 has increased durability, you know, the acid touch, the pocket dimension. But teleporter-wise, 4666 is way outclassing 106. 106 can go through walls and like come out another wall, but 4666 can teleport basically anywhere. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a draw because 106 won't be able to catch 4666. So I'm calling this a draw because I don't think the Ule Man would engage in a fight. But if this were a death battle where they had to fight over like maybe 106 is going after his kids, at least based on current evidence, I think that 106 would pull out the win. Jack Lupin, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your dono and for being a member. Make sure to pick yourself up a Sunny Delight on your way past the commissary. Is there an SCP that makes you gain animal-like features? Animal-like features. So, honestly, the problem is that's pretty vague, and therefore it's going to be hard to look for. But if we look at your best bet for this kind of thing, now I do know, for instance, that SCP-5045 will turn you into a goat, but that will be in VR, in the GOAT VR game. So 5045 will turn you into a goat, I know that much. But SCPs that turn you into animals. Now we know there's the all cops are pigs SCP, where it's the woman who turns cops into pigs and then barbecues them. And (2746) seems to turn people into animals. And before that goes away, animal-like features. So, off the top of my head, we know that GOAT VR will turn you into a goat in VR. We know that the Scariest anomaly only attacks pigs, or only attacks cops, but it turns them into pigs and then serves them up barbecue style. And then I would say the third one I talk about, animal transformation. Well, 2746 would be one. And then one time, there's a tale where SCP-113, the gender switching stone, got exposed to a non-binary person, and it gave them cat ears. So they became a cat waifu. So that will actually turn them into a shapeshifter who defaults to cat mode, but also they could have other animal features. It's a thing for science. Glitchtrap157, good to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. I'm outside of my box, Dr. Sherman. Don't lie to me. I'm not going to walk over to your box and open it so you can get away. I'm not falling for that again. You stay there. Although I need to find out who gave you a computer. Interns. Did you know I saw the tree screaming about 3 hours ago? Duckshade, you saw a regular tree screaming. All trees scream, but you didn't see 4521 scream. All the sensors that I have around it would say so. And so, you're clearly mistaken. What happens if 173 is wearing a picture of 096 on his face? Then we all die, which is why we don't do that. Apollo Newbie, can I be a D-class? Sure, we're always recruiting D-class. What could possibly go wrong for you? We'll be by to pick you up later. I love Mahunt. What site do you work at, Dr. Sherman? What site do I work at? What site? What site is the name of the YouTube channel, maybe? Opinion on SCP-2718. Oh, Dr. Buckaroo Banzai, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh, man. My number one fear of anomalies is spiders and spider-based anomalies and spiders in general. And so I will still put 3023 at the top of my most deliberately despised anomalies. But SCP-2718, what comes after, I really hope that one's not real. I really hope 2718 is not real. Because otherwise I'd be very upset. I'd be so angry. And then dead and angry. So, let's just hope that that one's not real. SCP-3035 Smasher Pass. Well, I mean, we can't smash the anomaly because we need to study it. And if we break it, then we can't study it. So no smashing anomalies. We are not the Global Occult Coalition. We do not destroy. We secure, contain, and protect. So there will be no smashing of anomalies of any kind. Thank you. Overseer 052, I've become a Patreon member. You're welcome, Sherman. Overseer, thank you for your service. That helps us keep Synth and Charles paid so that we get videos out much, much faster. It's good to keep the team growing, and for that we need more patrons, more members, more views, more subs, all of it. Our Site 42 empire is growing. Site 42, how would the SCP Foundation react to Hellboy? Interesting. If I remember, isn't he a part of some sort of organization? I know he's like a detective or something. I'm not brushed up on Hellboy lore. I mean, he is anomalous, so most likely at first blush we try to contain it. That would be quite simple as an answer. Well-meaning half-demon. Summoned from hell to earth as a baby by Nazis. Ruins of an old church. Who formed the United States Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. In time, Hellboy grew to be a large, muscular, red-skinned ape-like man with a tail and horns, which he files off, leaving behind circular stumps on his forehead that resemble goggles. Works for the BPRD, an international non-governmental agency. So, essentially, the BPRD is like the Foundation. So, probably we wouldn't be able to do much about him because he's part of a opposing group of interest. So he'd barely be a person of interest. And yeah, sure, we'd like to contain it, but also if it's not breaking normalcy, and also we have to like have a treaty with their group, then maybe it could get away with not being contained. What would happen if SCP-2718 was exposed online worldwide? Well, Andre, my thought process for that, if that were to be the case, I am certain that there would be some positive effects, like once billionaires figured out that dying was really the worst thing, eternal torment ever, then they would probably start working on quality of life improvements and working toward proper immortality. Now that would, of course, lead us to an end of death scenario, which in Foundation verse, that didn't go really well either. So we're kind of at a catch-22 between dying and having eternal torment, or living and having eternal torment. I think between the two, I'd take living in eternal torment. We could probably make like things a little better for the living, as opposed to everyone turning to dead and then dust and then just being tortured forever. So, but beyond the billionaires panicking and trying to fix things, we'd also have global malaise because people would be depressed about life being meaningless and la-da-da-da-da. And so they'd stop doing things and nothing would get done. It would be really frustrating. So we'd probably just amnesticize the entire world, like we did for SCP-8900-EX. And we'd use some amnestics to make everyone forget that it happened. It's called the Ennui Protocol. We've done it before. We'll do it again. And global amnestics would be our best bet. Thank you for the excellent question, as always, Andre. You all have 4 minutes left before I have to get to my next field test, so let's get those questions going. Do you know Detective Void? I am familiar with his work. I suggest, if you want some more intel from a trusted source of mine, go look up the YouTube channel Radiger. Radiger is an SCP author, creator of the Find Us Alive SCP podcast. It's an excellent fiction podcast that we're actually reviewing on the channel. You can check out episode 1 right now. And of course, Radiger's other claim to fame besides that podcast is their Content Farm. And their Content Farm has them reviewing videos by these content farms like Detective Void, like The Rubber, and telling us how good or bad they did with getting the SCP right. Because most of the time, these content farms are pretty lazy about getting the details right or sensationalizing things with clickbait and not really honoring the story that they're adapting. So me, not a huge fan of Detective Void, but live and let live. But check out Radiger's video on Detective Void, and especially the most recent one, because it's good, pretty good stuff. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite SCP? Well, Tsunami, in about 2 minutes I'll tell you, because that's how I end the end of every stream, as I rattle off my favorite SCPs, so you have something to go read after we're done. So, 2 minutes. Don't hang up for 2 minutes and you'll make it to the end of the stream. How many ethical violations have you committed today, Doctor? Oh, well, that's pretty funny. There was that one. Hey, Ethics Committee, I committed no ethical violations. Ethics Committee, I am completely ethically sound today. No violations whatsoever. No war crimes either, or breaking the Geneva Conventions. Not a once. I've been very good. I've been very good, Ethics Committee. So, but just move on to your next interview, Ethics Committee. Almost fell for that. This will be the last question I find. What would happen if you ate the gender-swapping stone? First of all, it's a rock. Why are you going to eat a rock? Second of all, every time you touch the gender-switching stone, SCP-113, it very painfully transforms you, and it's like a burning, forever ouchy pain, but then it ends. But then it's in your stomach, so it touches you again, and you transform again. And so you're looking at eternal torment for as long as the stone is in your digestive tract, plus every time you transform, the small percent of chance of fatality gets higher. So even if it's just like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, it's got to go through your whole tract, and every time you stop transforming, the infinite torment starts again. And so it's a really bad idea. I don't suggest it. But with that, I've got to get to my next field test. So this has been a great office hours. Remember that when I tell you my favorite SCPs, I don't mention my SCPs because I wrote them, so that would be cheating. But if you want to see my SCPs, go to the link in the description. The Beacons AI link is where you can find my author page on the SCP Wiki, which includes all of the articles I've all of the articles I've written, or guest written, or did voices or sound effects for. So you can check out my work on the Wiki, the author page. And while you're heading there, check out the channel memberships. Check out a Patreon. Get some early access. Get some emojis on the channel. Help support our cause at making bigger and better SCP content as we go into 2024. My favorite SCPs, I hope you have your pens ready, are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, and 5320. I'll bring it around one more time. 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320. Those are my favorite SCPs. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy my work. Make sure to like and subscribe and keep supporting myself and other SCP content creators who you want to see more work from, including our friend of the channel, Radiger, who you should go watch their videos on Detective Void right after we hang up. So, I will see you all in the next office hours. And I'll be there before you know it. I'll be gone before you see me. And I'd like to get to know you, but you're talking much too slowly. And I know you'd really like me, but I never stick around, 'cause time keeps dragging on. And on, and on, and on, and on. And you say the world goes rushing by, but it seems so slow to me. And you see a blur around you fly, but it takes too long, it seems so slow to me. And time keeps dragging on, dragging on.